With just one glance, she could memorize an entire page of a book. But sadly, no one really understood how she thought. Well, this is the story, told in the film Temple Grandin. Temple Grandin could be considered someone with special needs. She often overreacted when encountering something new, because she had her own unique way of seeing the world. That year, during the summer before starting college, Temple visited her Aunt Anne's house. Once she arrived, it was clear Temple loved anything mechanical or physics related. Just by watching how something worked, she could instantly understand its mechanism. But communicating with Temple wasn't easy. Aunt Anne had to explain everything very clearly for Temple to grasp it. The next day, Temple walked around Aunt Anne's cattle ranch. The way the workers treated the cows triggered her old trauma. She kept asking the workers about each tool's purpose to make sure the cows were okay. Besides mechanics, Temple also had a deep love for animals. She could tell if a cow was happy just by observing its behavior. She even explained that a horse didn't need to move its head to see around. Its ears pointed toward whatever it was looking at. Though often overwhelmed, Aunt Anne adored her niece. Temple admitted she had no interest in college. In her view, she had already learned everything she needed from her favorite high school teacher. She also felt her peers had strange ways of thinking she couldn't understand. The next day, the housekeeper cleaning Temple's room accidentally knocked down a paper taped to the door. When Temple returned and saw it, she panicked, feeling her personal space had been invaded. To make matters worse, she saw an uninstalled white curtain inside. Terrified, she ran outside. What worried Aunt Anne even more was when Temple stepped into a cattle squeeze chute and asked her to pull the lever. Out of pity, Aunt Anne did it, and sure enough, Temple immediately felt calm. A few days later, Temple's mother, Eustacia Grandin, arrived. She noticed Aunt Anne's wooden fence had been replaced with an automatic gate Temple had built. By pulling one pulley lever, the gate opened by itself. Clever. They chatted a bit about Temple's activities there, but Eustacia didn't seem pleased. She worried Temple's kindness toward animals might encourage bad habits. Aunt Anne understood, but couldn't bring herself to stop her. Before long, Temple enrolled at Franklin Pierce College. Upon entering her dorm room, Temple immediately complained. She was upset that everyone else had a roommate, while hers wouldn't arrive for another 2 weeks. Eustacia couldn't help but remember Temple's birth. She was born normal, like any other child. But unlike others, Temple didn't speak until she was 4 years old, and never showed interest in playing with other kids. A doctor diagnosed her with autism, which at the time was often wrongly blamed on a lack of maternal affection in early childhood. Eustacia, a top Harvard graduate, strongly disagreed. She knew how to raise a child, but Temple had never been interested in anything her mother gave her, and that hadn't changed. On her first day of class, the professor asked Temple to read a page from a book. After looking at it for only a few seconds, she said she was done. Feeling mocked, the professor asked her to recite the page from memory without looking. Surprise! Temple flawlessly recalled every word. After class, she went to the cafeteria. The sight of a cook chopping carrots triggered another traumatic episode, especially when she approached the glass automatic door to the dining hall. Her mind linked the carrot knife to a meat cutter, and she panicked, drawing laughs from other students. The next day, Temple decided she needed to build a squeeze machine to calm herself down. Coincidentally, her roommate arrived just as she finished making it. This got her called to the dorm director's office. Temple explained that the machine's pressure felt like a hug, something she couldn't tolerate from people since she had disliked being touched from childhood. Unfortunately, the explanation was misunderstood. The machine was thought to have sexual implications and was banned from campus. It was forcibly removed from her room. Upset, Temple went back to Aunt Anne's, saying she wouldn't return to college without it. Her mother didn't defend her, but Aunt Anne promised to help. When Aunt Anne came to campus, she scientifically proved the device's therapeutic benefits. She even let other students try it. Backed by data, the machine was allowed to stay. Temple's gift had been clear since high school, when Dr. Carlock, a former NASA scientist, discovered her thinking style. He realized Temple learned only through pictures and physical examples. Numbers and letters meant nothing to her. This was proven when she completed a perspective theory project no other student could solve. Dr. Carlock became a major influence in her life, not just teaching academics, but also life lessons and motivation. When she graduated high school, he told her to imagine university as a hallway of doors, each a new opportunity. He gave the same advice to Eustacia, easing her worries about Temple's future. Back in college, Temple's new roommate, Alice, didn't mind the squeeze machine. Though blind, Alice had a kind heart and became Temple's first real friend. For the first time, Temple let someone touch her. Since she couldn't see, she needed to hold Temple's hand to walk. Alice's kindness subtly improved Temple's social skills. Years passed. The calming machine led Temple to graduate. She confidently delivered her commencement speech, moving those close to her, Eustacia included. In 1970, Temple continued her research at a cattle ranch. On her first day, she was shocked by the chaotic and cruel treatment of the cows. She noticed their stress and fear. Motivated to improve things, she recorded every unusual behavior. Days later, she told the ranch office that cows naturally moved in circles when they felt safe. Workers approaching them directly only caused panic and injuries, costing the business more money. She offered to design a more humane system, but to use the ranch's name in her research, she needed approval from the head, Don Michaels. That afternoon, she went to see him, but her permit had expired. Seeing that cowboys could enter without trouble, she disguised herself as one. She bought cowboy clothes, dirtied them for authenticity, and even swapped her car for a pickup truck. The disguise worked, and she met Don, but he rejected her idea outright without listening. Temple didn't give up. She secretly continued her research, even crawling through cattle chutes to understand them from a cow's perspective. After days of work, a sympathetic ranch hand forged Don's signature, validating her thesis and advising her to visit feedlots and cattle auctions. At the auction the next day, she met a reporter and offered her research for publication. The reporter agreed, asking her to send it in. That New Year's Eve, Temple returned to Eustacia's for a neighborhood party, but her blunt speaking style made people uncomfortable. Once again, she questioned herself. Why didn't people want to hear her ideas? Eustacia reassured her that not everyone could grasp her knowledge, and reminded her that making eye contact showed respect. This stuck with Temple, as she had never been used to it. Back at the ranch, the guards had figured out her disguise and kicked her out again. Thinking fast, Temple went to the reporter's office and asked for a press badge to re-enter. Her method had gained attention, and the reporter agreed. Soon, magazines were covering her work. One day, a ranch owner from another state visited Temple. He wanted her to design a new system. When the system was ready, she demonstrated it. Cows calmly walked along curved paths, no foreign objects to spook them, no prodding or hitting from workers. They even crossed a water pool without stress. The ranch owner praised her work. But the next morning, 3 cows had died. Workers blamed her system, though it turned out they had sabotaged it with hanging clothes to scare the cows and slick metal to make them slip and drown. Furious, Temple cursed them out and left. After a long trip, she visited Dr. Carlock to vent her frustration. How cowboys preferred herding cattle to following her designs. But not long after, Dr. Carlock passed away. Temple may not have known how to express grief, but she remembered his words, "Those who die live on in our minds."
Before leaving, she let Eustacia hug her for the first time. One day, Temple went shopping, only to find her usual store closed. The only open one had an automatic glass door. A middle-aged woman helped her inside. Though Temple spoke bluntly, the woman wasn't offended. They chatted, and Temple learned the woman knew her through her writings. Her husband often read Temple's work. She turned out to be the wife of a famous ranch owner who had once rejected Temple's research. From that conversation, Temple was invited to meet her husband. She explained her system: keep cows calm until the moment of slaughter so they die without stress or fear. It also saved costs, labor, and was safer for the animals. Her proposal was accepted. Later, Temple told Alice that even if she didn't understand everything in the world, she wanted her life to mean something to others. She seemed calmer and more self-aware. The next day, Temple took Eustacia to an autism support group. While the host spoke, Temple noticed a boy spinning in circles. just like she used to. She stood up and spoke to the crowd, describing life as an autistic person. Some doubted her until she mentioned she had earned a Master of Science and was on track to become a professor. Everyone was stunned. They asked how she had recovered. Temple explained she never had. She had embraced her autism. With a different way of thinking, autistic children could see the world from new angles. Autism is different, but it doesn't mean less, she said. Her words brought tears to Eustatia's eyes. The host invited her to the main stage so everyone could hear her story. As she walked up, Temple imagined another door, this time to her next chapter in life. The film ends with real-life footage of Temple Grandin, who became a professor at a Colorado university. Today, most cattle ranches in North America use her system. And that's the end of the film. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss the next one. Bye.